Hello student, welcome back to Electronics Paper 1 Applied Electronics. So chapter number 4 Operational Amplifier. We already started with this chapter and this is the fourth lecture. So let us revise what we have done in the first three lecture. So first we have seen what do you mean by amplifier, then operational amplifier. We have seen the internal block diagram of an operational amplifier, the schematic diagram of op-amp, pin diagram of op-amp, characteristics of an ideal op-amp, specification of op-amp. Then we have seen the parameters of op-amp, right? Today we are going to see the applications of op-amp. So let us proceed. Applications of an op-amp. There are many applications of operational amplifiers. The important linear applications are inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, inverter, buffer and subtractor, wherein the output have linear relationship with the input. The non-linear applications are integrator, differentiator, comparator and Smith trigger. Student, the question comes based on this. State the applications of an op-amp. You have to state linear application as well as non-linear application for 3 marks. So before seeing the applications of op-amp, let us see what do you mean by feedback. So if we want to use this op-amp as an amplifier, then we need to somehow control the gain of this op-amp. Gain is nothing but output upon input, either output voltage upon input voltage or output current upon input current. And we can do this so by applying a feedback from the output side to the input side. So there are two waves by which, see, because there are two input, so there are two waves by which we can apply this feedback. One is to providing the feedback from output to this positive input terminal, or let's say the non-inverting terminal, okay, and grounding the inverting terminal. This type of feedback is called as positive feedback when we apply the feedback from output to the non-inverting terminal of the op-amp. And the second is providing the feedback from the output to the inverting terminal, inverting input terminal, okay, and grounding the non-inverting terminal. This type of feedback is called as negative feedback. Okay, so we are seeing the positive feedback, but positive because here the fraction of the output is added to this input non-inverting terminal. Now in any system we are using the positive feedback. This positive feedback leads to the system to be instability, and so we cannot use this positive feedback alone. So now here to control the gain of the op-amp, we need to go for the negative feedback. That means we need to feed fraction of the output to the inverting terminal of the inverting input, right? Now here three ways by which we can apply the input to the op-amp. The first by applying the input terminal to the by applying input to the non-inverting terminal and grounding the inverting terminal. Second, applying the input to the inverting terminal and grounding the non-inverting terminals. And third, we can apply the input to both the providing the inputs to both the non-inverting and as well as inverting terminals. So let us see all these different types of op-amp. So first application of op-amp, the linear application, that is inverting operational amplifier. So first we will see the case where we are applying the input to the inverting input terminal. So let us say that we have applied the input to the inverting terminal through the resistance Ri, and we are providing a negative feedback from output to the input inverting terminal via this feedback resistance Rf. So now whenever the op-amp is used in this configuration, then this configuration is called as inverting operational amplifier or inverting op-amp configuration. So now let us find out the relation between this output and the input voltage, and let us see how we can control the gain of the op-amp by using this feedback resistance Rf and this input resistance Ri. So let us find the relation between the output and input terms of this in terms of this feedback resistance Rf and Ri. Clear? So in inverting op-amp using amplifier using op-amp, the input signal is connected to the inverting terminal through resistance input resistance Ri. The non-inverting terminal is grounded. A feedback resistor Rf is connected between the output and inverting input terminal of the op-amp, and the current flowing this resistance is called is Ri, and the current flowing through this feedback resistance Rf is If. Clear? So let Vi be the input voltage, Vi is the input voltage, Vo is the output voltage, Va is the potential at point A. So this is point A. So Va is the potential at point A. Ii is current through the resistance Ri, and so applying Ohm's law. So V is equals to IR. So Vi Ii is equals to Vi minus Va upon Ri, right? So Ii is nothing but the potential difference across these 2 points upon the resistance, that is Ri. If is the current through the feedback resistance Rf. So If is the current through this feedback resistance Rf, right? So here the current between these 2 point potential, that is Va minus Vo upon the resistance Rf. Va voltage at this point, potential at this point Va minus the voltage at this point Vo upon Rf. Okay. So equation 1, let us label this at equation 1 and this as equation 2. When II enters at point A, it cannot flow into the inverting terminal of the op-amp. Already we have seen the characteristics of the op-amp. The input impedance of the op-amp is infinite. So no current will flow inside the op-amp. So hence we can say all current which is passing through II is available at Rf. Hence II is equals to If, equation number 3. So left hand side is equal. So right hand side should be equal of equation 1 and 2. Clear? So from equation 1 2, so we can write that II is equals to If, right? So from equation 1 2 and 3, Vi minus Va upon Ri, that is II, input current flowing through the resistance R1, is equals to the If, that is the current flowing through the resistance Rf, that is Va minus Vo upon Rf, right? Because no current is flowing through the op-amp because the input impedance of the op-amp is high. Now due to the virtual ground concept, please understand, I will explain you in detail what do you mean by virtual ground concept. At point A, Va is equals to 0. So substituting Va is equals to 0, what we get? Vi upon Ri equals to minus Vo upon Rf, right? So rearranging the terms, we get output voltage Vo is equals to minus Rf upon Ri into Vi. Okay, and the gain, what is gain? Gain of the closed loop. Closed loop, why? Because we are applying the feedback from output to the input, negative feedback from output to input, and the expression, and this expression is known as closed loop gain for the inverting op-amp configuration. See here, RF upon RI. As you can see here, just by changing the value of RF and RI, we can control the gain of the op-amp, and we can use the op-amp as an amplifier. Now here the negative sign indicates that the output is out of phase or 180-degree out of phase with respect to input voltage. So let us say if we apply a sinusoidal wave at the input, then at the output we'll get an amplified sinusoidal wave which is having 180-degree phase with respect to input signal. So crust becomes trough and trough will become crust, inverted, right? And that is why this configuration is called as inverting configuration, because the output will get inverted with respect to input. Clear? So negative sign indicates that output signal is 180-degree out of phase with the input, and the output depends upon the RF and RI value. This inverting op-amp can be used as current to voltage converter and as sign changer. Okay, sign changer, that is an inverter. Virtual ground concept. So we'll see, student, what do you mean by virtual ground concept. So in inverting op-amp, by making VA is equal to 0, we got the output. So let us see the virtual ground concept. Let us understand the concept of virtual ground in the op-amp, and this concept of virtual ground is applicable when we are providing the negative feedback to this amplifier. So here we are providing the negative feedback to the input terminal. Now here this input terminal. So now here the differential input voltage is nothing but the difference between the two, between the inverting and the non-inverting input terminal. So we can say that the differential input voltage as V plus here and V minus, right, is equals to 0, it means that the inverting and non-inverting terminals are at same potential, right, are at same potential, or we can say that they are virtually short between this inverting and non-inverting terminals. Now here the term virtual means that the two terminals are not actually short. So here we are not applying any short or not short, actually short circuited, but they are virtually shorted, as whatever voltage that is appearing at one terminal, the exact voltage will appear at the another terminal. In this case, the non-inverting terminal is grounded, and we say that V plus is equals to 0. The voltage at this is 0. Therefore, the voltage at the non-inverting terminal will be 0. That is, thermally is not actually grounded, but it all act as a virtual grounded. So this negative feedback will ensure that the difference between these two voltage, inverting and non-inverting, is very small, and we can say that it is almost negligible, and because of this we can consider them at the same potential. That is nothing but the concept of virtual ground, right? So this 2 point, because the non-inverting terminal is grounded, so the point A will be also at virtual ground. In the inverting op-amp, ideally open loop gain is infinite, and the voltage between the two terminals is V error is equals to V, that is equals to 0. The error voltage is equals to 0 as A is infinite. As the input impedance is ideally infinite, the current into the op-amp is 0. So no current flow through. Virtual ground is the point in the circuit that has zero voltage and draws no current. And ordinarily the ground has 0 volt and can sink the finite current, but virtual ground has zero voltage and zero current. So they are at zero voltage, but op-amp does not sink any current. Clear? That is the meaning of virtual ground concept. Op-amp adder or inverting summing amplifier. We will see how to use this op-amp as a summing amplifier. Summing means adding, okay? And use this op-amp configuration, how we can add the different input voltages. In the non-inverting op-amp configuration, we had applied the single input to the inverting terminal op-amp terminal. Now we will apply a multiple inputs to this inverting terminal, and we will see how this configuration can be used as a summing amplifier. We will apply multiple inputs at the inverting input terminal, and we will find out the expression for the output in terms of the different input voltages. So as you can see here, we had applied the input voltages as V1, V2 and V3 to the non-inverting terminal via a resistance R1, R2 and R3. And here let us assume that the current I1 is flowing through R1, I2 flowing through R2 and I3 flowing through R3. And let us say that the current IF is flowing through the feedback resistance RF. Here we are assuming that the op-amp is an ideal op-amp. Okay, so we are assuming the op-amp as an ideal op-amp, so no current will be flowing through the node A. So whatever current is flowing through this at this terminal will go is equal to the feedback current IF, right? So let voltage V1, V2, V3 be applied at the input voltage through R1 and R2, R3. The non-inverting input terminal is grounded. The inverting terminal is at virtual ground potential. So these two are at same potential, 0 volt. Clear? So here I1 is equals to V1 upon R1. So I1 is a current flowing through R1. I2 is equals to V2 upon R2, that is current flowing through R2, and I3 is equals to V3 upon R3, current flowing through the resistance R3. We have seen that whenever we are applying the negative feedback to any op-amp, then there is a virtual short exists between the inverting and the non-inverting terminal. So if one of the terminal is at ground potential, then the other terminal will be at ground potential. We can say that it will act as a virtual ground. So this is also the node. So this node A will be at 0 volt. So applying KVL, what we get? I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equals to IF. So now let us substitute the value of V1 upon R1, I1 value, I2 and I3 and IF. So this 0 minus output voltage divided by the feedback resistance RF. But this point 0 minus, so that is equals to minus VO upon RF. If we simplify this expression, we'll get V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3. So let us further simplify this equation. So VO, output voltage equals to minus RF. Okay. V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3. So the output voltage is equals to the algebraic sum of the individual response. So this is the expression for the output voltage in case of the inverting summing amplifier. Now in this inverting summing amplifier configure, let us assume the value of R1, R2 are same. So what it will be? Let us assume the value are same. So minus Rf upon R is equals to V1 plus V2 upon V2. Because the denominator is having same, we can take common. So it is minus Rf upon R, Rf upon R into V1 plus V2 plus V3. Again if Rf is equals to Ri, then Rf upon Ri is equals to 1. So minus V1 plus V2 plus V3. So op-amp is said to be inverter summing adder. Negative sign means the output is inverted of this input, right? Indicate that output is 180-degree out of phase of the input. So by just we can add the 3 or more inputs. So it acts as a summing amplifier, right? So this way we can use this as a adder and we can add the inputs, right? So student, let us revise what we have done in today's session. We have seen the applications of operational amplifier, linear applications and non-linear applications. We have started with the linear application, that is inverting amplifier. We have seen the output expression for an inverting amplifier. Then we are seeing the inverting op-amp as a sign changer or as a inverter. So we output is equals to input with a negative sign, that output is out of phase with the input. Then we are seeing the summing, that is the adder op-amp as a adder, inverting adder, where we are applied the different inputs and we have got the output in terms of this inputs, right? So today we came to the end of operational amplifier session 4. Thank you.